two frame of minds of the influences. They can either come through metaphor or symbolism. Anybody remember the song Money? Money, 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 money. Okay, by OJ. Metaphor. What were they talking about? Some people got to have it. Some people really need it. Huh? Moreover, they were not talking about the good part of money. They said some people got to have it. Some people really need it to do things, bad things with it. Some people got to have it, need to have it. They can do good things with it. So it depends upon what you do. He said money, it carries a lot of weight. So if you want to have influence and affluence, you need money. But it was looking at money in such a way that says, wow, what is that all about? But it was a metaphor of society, because that's what society was doing back in the 60s and 70s. It was all about how much money you had. And the more money you had, the crazier the clothes were. They did. They had a MAC clothes on, big old bell bottom with the high-rise and shoes with fish in the bottom. So the more money you had, the more you splurged. They did crazy stuff. Had a big old wide hats on. They were walking out, diamond in the back, sun on the top, digging the sea with a gangster lean. You know how that goes. That's what it was all about. It was the metaphor. It was dealing with society. Jerry know what I'm talking about. Jerry know what I'm talking about. With them bell bottoms on. I mean, yeah, you know, you had to have the shirt. The shirt had to come right here, you know, because they had to show you three little curly hairs on your chest. Yeah, that's what it was about. Yeah. No, you had to have a toothpick at the side of your mouth.
No, they had a straw back then.
Well,
Don't forget. Don't help them out,
depending upon where you were. Yeah.
In the South, they have broom.
Yeah, they had the broom straw, yeah. Up north, we had toothpicks.
See, he have a
Yeah, they would pick them out the broom. But it was a metaphor. The lyrics brought forth. And because of these particular influences, people would use metaphors to describe these very things. People use symbolism. And the symbolism would bring. If they ever start talking about a diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean, you're not talking about the president. We understand you're not talking about the mayor. We know who you're talking about. Freddie's dead. That's what I said. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Curtis Mayfield. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I mean, but you knew what it was all about. You knew what that meant. So it was the symbolism. And the symbolism came through those songs in order to let you know what was happening. Because that was the influence of the time. It was big about drugs. And the more drugs you had, the more money you had. And if you did the drugs and you moved the traffic, you had money. And you knew them people in your neighborhood. Because when you saw them walk down, you knew them. They were flaunting it. Big old rolls in their pocket. But you knew what they were doing. You know they weren't getting it by working a 9-to-5 job. They weren't going to the factory. They weren't in an office. They were doing something else. And when they come down the street, this guy, he used to have his car, had his ladies in the back. You knew what was going on. Them ladies weren't back there because they like him. They were back there because they were doing something. And he had them stressed out. You know, you go to particular places, you can find them. Well, you knew. And he come down the street, he brunk his horn. You knew who was coming through. And that was his horn. That's the way his horn sounded. And he punched it one time. That was the sound that he made. And we knew where he was going. He was letting you know I'm in the neighborhood. So if you want this, you can come get it. If you want this, you can come get it. And that was symbolized through song. And people put that to song to let you hear what was going on in our neighborhoods, to let you know what was happening, the influences that was going on in those particular neighborhoods. And because of that, lyrics make a difference of power and influence that they have, because they can say things in song that if they wrote a column about it, people wouldn't even listen to them. But if I put it to a song and I put it to a certain beat of music, and I can say the exact same thing and you'll listen to it. It has an influence because I can put it out there and you're more willing to listen to it if I got the right beat. If I drop that sound, I put it right, you'll listen to it. But I can tell you the same thing. You look at me like I'm stupid. You don't want to hear that. But I put it to a song. You're like, man, that's good. See, you into the beat, they got you. Hypnotized. That's what that beat does. It hypnotizes you. And now the words come across. And if you ever really listen to the word, you say, man, they said the same thing. Oh, yeah, exact same words. But they just put it to a beat. Now they have a song saying the exact same thing that's getting across to you. And now the message has gotten in. And you receive the message. And you do accordingly to what they're asking you to do. So it has an influence. And that's why I said it has spiritual ramifications. Because it can either be good to you or bad, depending upon what they're trying to get across, what the lyrics are stating, what the lyrics want you to hear or what they don't want you to hear. Because there are certain things that they gear toward you, they want you to hear. There are certain things they don't want you to hear. That's actually going on. And you have to know metaphor or symbolism, what's going on. So you got to do a lot to get through a song. Oh man, I just don't want to listen to the song. Keep on doing that. They got you. But if you're spiritually on cue, as the Bible says, that you're not drunk in the spirit, but instead you're sober-minded, you're vigilant, knowing your adversary. When you do that, you're going to go through the sifter with everything that enters in. And you're not going to let stuff enter in without going through the sifter. Philippians 4 is your sifter. Whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever things of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. You're going to send it through the sifter. And if it doesn't make it, you kick it out. You don't let it in because it's going to influence spiritually what's going on in your life. Decisions you make, conclusions that you draw, and influences that you begin to have with other people. All that's a part of the lyrics. And that's what the lyrics want to accomplish. That's what they're about doing. To change your perspective on things. Change how you think about things. Change how you decide how to do things. They want you to do it their way. So they put the lyrics out there. And if you listen to them, and you let them get in, it can make a difference. So you have to be careful. Put everything through the sifter. Make sure it lines up. Because it's going to influence you one way or the other. Because it influences our society all the time. So we got to be careful about how it influences us. So that it doesn't change us and make us do the wrong thing. Any questions, comments on influences? All right. Lord willing, bless. Week after next,